What up, everyone? So, we've got Comic Block here. One of the many boxes I'm getting from the Nerd Block company this month. And I just got this one today, actually, but I wanted to open it because I think there's something I really want in there. I'm pretty sure it's this one. I could be totally wrong, but there's one of the Lil Bombshells from DC in there. And I have no idea if it's even in here or if it's exclusive, but if it is either of those things, I'm super psyched because I really like that series. So, let's take a look at this and see what we got. Oh, there is one. Okay, we'll save that. Oh, it is exclusive. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Alright, cool. Alright, gotta... There we go. There. Alright, we'll get to that in a second. Anyway, first we got a shirt. Let's take a look at this. And this is from Ninjak. I'm actually not familiar with. I'm guessing is a comic series. Lately, the Comic Block has been showing off some more obscure comic series. This is not one I've personally heard of, but I like the shirt though. I like the design of it. That's really cool. I like that it's like all red and it's got that cool like dark outline to it. So that's pretty cool. So even though I don't recognize the series, it shouldn't matter too much. Obviously, you want things you recognize, but you know, shirt quality is shirt quality. It should be a cool shirt no matter what. Obviously, it's much cooler if you recognize the characters, but even if you don't, it should still be a good shirt. And I like this one. I don't know anything about the series, but just from what I see, it looks pretty legit. I like the art style of it. So I think that's really cool. So I'm still going to give that like a 7.5 out of 10. And I'm sure the card will have some description on there about it, and I'll learn all about it, but that's a really cool shirt. I like that. Next, looks like we got a 16-month calendar. Deadpool. That's cool. Love me some Deadpool. And on the back, we got a bunch of different pictures of Deadpool from different artists. I recognize the Scotty Young one right there. That's cool. And I said before, I don't know how many people these days actually use like the actual calendars, because you know everyone's phone has calendars, but you know, it's still cool to have around. Alright, here it is. This is what I was waiting for. So, I thought this was in the Nerd Block Classic, but I got it mistaken. It is in the Comic Block. It says exclusive, but I hope this one is exclusive, because we've seen that before from like Loot Crate, where there's only one chance, there's only the rare, like one chance of getting an exclusive. It's still the regular series, you just have to get a rare one. I hope that's not the case. Yeah. And I will be doing a separate review of this series, because I actually got a full case of them, and I really like them. So I'm going to be doing a separate video of this series and reviewing it. Okay, awesome. This is sweet. So this is one similar to one I actually don't have. So the series is really awesome. I love these characters, and there's 2 rare ones in there, and what sucks is buying a full case doesn't give you the full series, which sucks. There's 12 figures, and there's 12 in a case. You'd think it would be, but it's not. So the rare ones are grayscale versions of Harley Quinn and Wonder Woman. So this is another kind of grayscale, but it actually is different. So I'm not going to say grayscale. This is more of a white scale, because it doesn't have like all the gray tones in it. It's mostly just white. So get a good look at it there. But that is really cool. Is that focusing? Focus, damn you. There we go. There we go. Get a full 360 view. So there's that. So it's the more modern version of Harley Quinn. So I have the regular colored one, and then the rare one's the black and white one. And this is like mostly white with red and black on it. Really cool. And oh, cool. It actually has a little something on the base there. If you can see, it has the little Queen of Hearts logo on the base. That's really cool. I really like that. So I'm surprised that anyone got exclusives. Actually, Loot Crate got an exclusive to this too. It was in...
I use advanced heat dissipation techniques.
My phone's going off. Siri was listening to me. That's fucking weird. What the... Siri just randomly decided to butt into my conversation on the video. Thanks, Siri. Go fuck yourself. Anyway, like I was saying, Loot Crate got an exclusive that was part of the Loot Fangirls series, which I actually got that one as exclusive Wonder Woman. And from what I hear, I think it's said on the card that this isn't the only month we'll get one of these, so I think Nerd Block's going to do it again, which I'm totally down for. Because like I said, I really love this series. I love the whole like 50s look. The Bombshells, that whole series, I think it was a comic series too, but they did statues on it that I really wanted to get, but they were too expensive. So I was super psyched when this series came out. And they're really expensive too, if you don't know. They're like 12 to 15 bucks. But they come in a nice tin, but they're designed really well. I like the style of them. They just look really cool. So I'm super psyched about this. This is probably my most favorite item that's ever come in this comic block. So I'm so psyched for that. That's really cool. Love it. Alright, on to the not as cool items. The other items in the box. Comics. No surprise. Alrighty. Looks like we got Wonder Woman #1. Wonder Woman 77. So it's the 70s style of Wonder Woman. And I don't know if this is... Yep, it is exclusive. It says presented by Nerd Block on there. So that is an exclusive cover. Usually they have a big logo saying it's exclusive, but this one doesn't, which is fine. And it says Dynamite in the corner, which is weird. So, oh, duh, I'm retarded. I didn't even see that. It's Bionic Woman and Wonder Woman. No duh. So yeah, it is Dynamite in DC. I totally didn't notice it said that. And there's a girl in the background. I thought it was just like a random person, but it's the Bionic Woman. I get it now. Hence, Wonder Woman being 77 and Bionic Woman. Now it makes sense. I got that. Because their TV shows were on during the same time in the 70s, so that makes sense. I was going to say weird crossover, but it actually does make sense. They were both very popular TV series, and that both had women in them, so that's interesting. Exclusive cover, though. I don't know how popular that'll be nowadays. There's a small following for Bionic Woman and classic TV show Wonder Woman for collectors, but not a huge market for them, so we'll have to see how much that's worth. But either way, exclusive cover, so at least there's that. Alright. Next, Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. I'm guessing this is in reference to a TV show? Because it has actual actors on there. It has Elijah Wood on. Oh, God, I need to look at things before I talk. I'm so dumb. It says right there, all new Saturday. And that's actually the advertisement. I quit reviewing. I'm horrible at this. What is up with me lately? I can't do anything. This is Star Trek and Green Lantern. I was reading the advertisement. Siri, it's Siri's fault. She spoke in the video and then she threw me off, and now I'm not paying attention to anything. It's not me. I'm very smart. Siri threw me off. This is Star Trek Green Lantern. Erase what I just said. Edit. So, this looks like a very cool comic, actually. So this is, again, a crossover of different franchises, because Green Lantern is DC and Star Trek is IDW. So you see in the corner, and I know that because they've done crossovers before. So that's stuff I like to see. It's cool when different comic companies crossover, because that's something that's less likely seen. Because at the end of the day, these companies are all competing with each other, so it's cool to see crossovers like that. Star Trek and Green Lantern, a bit of an odd combination. I probably wouldn't have picked it myself. Again, it's more TV show stuff. I'm not a huge Star Trek fan. I like the modern movies, and that looks like what it's based off of, based on the artist rendition of the actors. But that's cool. And yeah, it says presented by Nerd Block, exclusive cover again. So either way, I don't mind. If it's exclusive, that's cool. Alright, moment of silence while I look at this before I run my stupid mouth. Okay, I think I'm ready. Red Sonja. So this is by Amy Chu. Yeah, so we got Amy Chu's autograph in the BAM box. She signed the other Red Sonja. This is Red Sonja number 0, though, so I'm guessing a prequel to number 1. Comic series often do this with the number 0. It's just like a prequel movie, something they do all the time. And Red Sonja has actually been popping up a lot lately, just in comics in general. In Comic Block, in the BAM box, and in a lot of other boxes. She has been popping up. And she has done crossovers with a bunch of other comic series, so I get it. I personally don't know a lot about it. I've seen her around. She looks like a cool character, and I understand the basics of it. But I don't know a ton about it. Yep. Also says presented by Nerd Block, so that's exclusive as well. So that's good. I'm glad they are not necessarily listening to me. I doubt Nerd Block watches my videos. But this is what I was saying. Comics are fine. I always say I wish they would mix it up with more collectibles and stuff and just have maybe like one comic here and there. But I always said if it's exclusive, put it in. If it's not an exclusive cover, don't put it in. Put something else in. And that's what they've been doing. That's what they've done the past this month and last month. All the covers, and maybe the month before, were exclusive covers or exclusive comics. So that's cool. That's what I really like to see. And yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Because other than that, it's too hard to get new issues every month and read new series. So you want stuff that, if you want to read it, cool. But if you don't want to read it, you'll have no trouble selling it because it's exclusive. So that's good. So far, I'm loving this block. One more comic. Hookjaw. No idea. Got some birdies on there. And some blood in the water. Something to do with sharks and birds. So it looks like a shark attack, and then birds are there too. Really weird cover. I have no idea what the fuck that means. I have no idea what the reference is. I'm very curious to see what that is. This is from Titan Comics, and I actually didn't know that Titans made comics. I wasn't familiar with that. So this is exclusive 2, presented by Nerdblock, number 1. I don't recognize any of the artists, but okay. Very interested to read about this one, because this is a very puzzling cover. Why there would be sharks and birds attacking the same person, I don't know. Karma, maybe? Maybe this guy did something really horrible and didn't just deserve to die. Deserved to be killed by 2 different types of animals from air and sea. Maybe. I don't know. So we'll look into that too, and we'll read up on that. Luckily, Nerdblog is good about their little card they put in here. They actually put a brief little description about the comic and like a brief description, like introduction to it, which is good. So that makes you decide, like, because some of these are actually like sealed, like this one, Hookjaw. So I'd like to know about the comic before breaking it open, because if I'm going to sell it, I'd rather have it sealed. So it's good they put the description so I know whether I actually want to read it or not beforehand. So that's cool. And our last item, an art print. Looks like we got Harley Quinn. And as usual, not signed or numbered, which is a bummer, but it's not that big a deal. It's still cool artwork. I like it. I think it's a really cool picture. So that's really nice. I definitely like the picture. It just is not going to have any value, though, since it's not signed and numbered, which is a real shame, because it is legitimately a really cool picture. I really do like that. That's awesome. I'm a big fan. So that's cool, but yeah, no value, but oh well. It's still a cool picture nonetheless. Alright, so far I really like this block. I'm super happy with it. I really liked all the stuff in here. Good job. I'm glad this company is picking up the pace a little bit. That's really nice to see. And this is the one block that I had so much hope for. Like I said, from the first time I got it when it absolutely sucked, this is the one I want to be good so bad, because this is the kind of box I want. Comic book stuff. That's always my favorite franchise, or my favorite type of stuff, is like comic book characters. Not just the books, but collectibles too. So I'm happy this one was good. That's really cool for me. And we got a bunch of advertisements in here, but I'll do all the research, I'll look it up. We'll come back, talk about some value, and I'll be less dumb again, I promise. See you soon. Alright, we are back. First of all, wow, we have lots to talk about here. I got some pretty significant information here, so there's a lot of things to talk about. Before we get to the value, things I'd like to mention about the box first. So I was correct, this isn't the only month we will be getting the Lil Bombshells. Apparently, Nerdblock is getting 3 different exclusive ones, which I'm all for. Like, I think that's great. I love this series. I'd love to see more exclusive ones. Apparently, this series is just giving out exclusives to everyone. So there's a lot of them out there, I noticed. So Nerdblock got some. Loot Crate got some, and Nerdblock's getting 3 different ones. We're getting 1 this month, 1 in January's box, and 1 in February's box. So that's fine with me. Normally, I hate it when they do repeat items, but I think that's awesome. I think that's really cool. They got 3 different exclusives. It's making it really hard to collect this series, though, because there's so many variants out there, just from what I saw, just on Harley Quinn alone. So, and I still don't have the whole base set, so that makes it kind of difficult. But that's really cool that I love exclusive figures. It's always awesome when we get exclusive figures. So that's something to look forward to. I'm excited for that. That's really cool. Next, the other advertisement in here, I was looking on my account, because I told you guys I got all the Nerd Blocks this month, and I wanted to cancel them, because I only wanted to try them out each once. And I noticed on my Arcade Block subscription, it said Gamer E Block instead. I didn't really think much of it at the time, but I thought that was weird. Then, there's this advertisement in here saying that how Arcade Block is going to become a different box. It's actually going to split into 2 blocks. It's going to be Gamer Block, which is the same, I guess, but it's going to have 2 different boxes. Gamer E is the ESRB rating, E for everyone, and then Gamer M, which is M for mature. Now, that's really interesting. I've never heard of a block doing something like that. I'm definitely intrigued, and I'm not sure. I definitely want to try them both out. I'm not sure when this is starting. It doesn't really say, but I want to try them both out to see what the difference is. Hopefully they don't share items, though, which is what I'm worried about. But I don't know what that means. I'm guessing the M for mature is just the games. I don't think the content's going to be mature. I don't think they're going to put like porn or something in the box. I think it's just going to be the games they're focusing on, which is very interesting. I'm not really sure what to think about that at this point, but I'm totally intrigued. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with that. And I want to know when they're doing that first, because I'd like to try both of them out to see what the differences are right away. And yeah, it says if you don't set your preferences, you'll automatically be default to E for everyone block. Okay, that's really interesting. So I just wanted to mention that. And I haven't gotten the arcade block this month, so maybe it's starting this month. I have no idea. That's really interesting. So I thought that was really worth mentioning. So that's just what I wanted to talk about from that. So, back to our box. So this is going to be a very hard to value. So I totally wasn't paying attention. I was just too excited because I knew there was a bombshell in there. I shouldn't have reviewed this box today because this is the first day it got here. So the values are not going to be accurate at all, unfortunately. So it's kind of bittersweet to do the values on this because they're all going to be high retail. And I'm going to do a collecting video talking about prices and things like that. Hopefully the next video, but I'll see when I have time for it. And essentially, when the box first comes out, the prices are crazy high. Those are people that want something really bad, so they'll pay a stupid price for it. And the prices drop dramatically. And you guys have seen from when I've posted videos to when you guys watch them and check the values, they're totally different. And it's the same situation always. The earlier I review a box, the higher the value is going to be. That's why I like to wait a little bit to review boxes, because the values come down and then they kind of even out. And then it's more accurate to what the value is going to end up being permanently. So these values are extremely high. They're crazy high values. So keep in mind, so I don't see comments, because this always happens, someone watches it a week later and they're like, what the fuck, where'd you get these values? And it's like, dude, chill out. Like, these values absolutely 100% guarantee these values will come down. How much is always a mystery. I can do my best to speculate, and I'll talk about that for each one, how much I think it'll go down, but it's so tough to say exactly how much it's going to come down. But just keep in mind, these are high values, so don't get caught up on the high prices. That being said, let's talk about value. First, the shirt. This is easy. Standard $12 to $15 value. All shirts get it. 7.5 on the shirt. I thought it was a really cool design. And apparently Ninjak is very popular, or at least it was back in the 90s. So I'm surprised I haven't heard of it, though. It was a very popular series. It's from Valiant Comics, and it sold millions of copies that first issue. It was like one of the top sellers back in '94, but I'm really surprised I didn't hear of it. I grew up in the 90s, and I've never heard of it. So maybe it's just some weird fluke and I haven't, but it looks like a cool series, though. It's just about a ninja spy, and it seems pretty legit. It seems like a cool series to read. And like I was saying, without even knowing anything about the series, this shirt is legit. I like this shirt. Knowing nothing about it, I still thought it was a really cool shirt nonetheless. Reading about the series, now I actually want to wear the shirt because it seems like a really cool series. So I'm still very happy with the shirt. I think it was a good pick. And this is one of the few times I'm okay with the obscure reference because it's still a cool shirt either way. So that's all good. Then, our little calendar. Our little Deadpool calendar. So this is exclusive, but like no big deal. It's a fucking calendar. Like, who gives a shit if it's exclusive? Calendars are really easy to make. They're very cheap to find. Hardly anyone actually gets like hard copy calendars anymore. Some people do. I guess in like an office environment to write reminders on there and stuff. But you know, it's still cool nonetheless. Even if you don't like the calendar, you could rip it apart and post the pictures up if you want. So it's still cool. And this is going for about $10. And this value is going to come down. It'll probably be more like $5 or $6 because it's a calendar. Even though it is exclusive, it doesn't help the value that much. So it's at 10 right now, and I guess, I'm assuming it's going to probably go down to 5 or 6, but we'll see. But right now, people are actually paying $10 for it, so technically speaking, if someone's paying that amount, that's what it's worth. And that's just, it's weird, but that's how value works. If something's only worth what someone's willing to pay, and if someone's willing to pay $10, that's what it's worth. Go figure. All right. Next, our Harley Quinn figure. This was very hard to find information on. There's not much listings out there or any information on it because, like I said, it's still very new. But based on my experience, I'm going to give it the best value I can. The other Harley Quinn figure, the rare one, the black and white variant, is very expensive. It goes upwards of $40, $50, $60. Very hard to find. There are no listings that currently exist. And it's rare to see one pop up, which sucks because I need that figure. So if anyone has it, I'll buy it off you. But it goes for a bunch. Even the cheap version, the normal Harley Quinn version that isn't hard to find at all, even that one goes for $15 to $20. So it's no surprise that this one's going to hold some decent value because it is exclusive. But keep in mind, Nerdblock puts out a lot of boxes every month. So as every day passes, there's going to be like 1,000 more people getting this box. And probably like at least 10% of those people are going to list it online, bringing the price down, and it's just going to go through the normal system it always does. So as of right now, the value on this, what people are buying it for, what people are actually paying for this item, is $25 to $30. which, like I said, is not that surprising because I think this series was extremely popular, and Harley Quinn is probably one of, if not the most popular character of the series, considering how relevant she is into pop culture right now. She's very popular as of right now, so it's not surprising that people will pay that much. Again, this value will come down. How much? If I had to guess, I would say it's going to end up between like 15 and 20 because it is still really popular, and I think a lot of people like it. But it's gonna flood the market because there's so many boxes. But Comic Block isn't as popular as the classic Nerd Block, so it's tough to say. I'm gonna guess 15 to 20, but right now it's at a $25 to $30 value, so it is what it is. Next, moving on to the comics. Start at the bottom. All right, so our Wonder Woman Bionic Woman crossover. So this one is fetching a very high amount too. So like I said, there is a following for both Wonder Woman and Bionic Woman. And ironically, it's the same following. Because like I said, people that liked one liked the other because the TV shows were on at the same time. So if you were a fan of one, you were a fan of the other. And I think they actually did some kind of crossover at some point before. Anyway, there is actually a decent following. This one is actually going, as of right now, $25 to $30 for that comic. So that'll drop too, but probably not that much because it is an exclusive cover. So it'll probably end up being closer to that $20 amount. But right now it's at $25 to $30. So I was saying, there is actually a following for it. More than I thought, but again, there aren't that many listings. So there could be just crazy fanboys. There could be like 10 crazy fanboys out there that just want to pay a good price for it and get it and have no patience. So that'll come down too, but that's what it's at as of now. Next, our Star Trek Green Lantern crossover. Definitely more recognized franchises, and this one's going to go for about 15 to 20. That'll probably end up being more like 12 to 15 when all is said and done, but right now it's 15 to 20. And it still seems like a cool crossover. I don't think it's one that's ever been done before, so it's definitely interesting, and it's cool, and the artwork looks really nice, so I'm all for it. And it is exclusive, so not too surprising, but yeah, decent amount on that. Alright, moving on. Our Red Sonja number 0. Now, something funny about this. This is actually the only thing in here where they didn't say it was exclusive, which I find weird because it says on there presented by Nerdblock, which I would guess that has to mean it's exclusive. Because even if this cover already exists, the fact that they just say printed or presented by Nerdblock would change the cover, therefore making it exclusive. So I would have to assume that that's some kind of mistake by Nerdblock, because if there's no way they would miss an opportunity to say that they have something exclusive. That's where they get their money, is having exclusive items. So it has to be some kind of mistake, unless there's something I'm missing here. If it says on there presented by Nerdblock, that has to make it exclusive. I don't see any other way. So I'm guessing that's just some kind of typo or something that they didn't mention it. But anyway, that's going for about 10 to 15. Much less than the others. Red Sonja is still popular, but a lot of people are pushing Red Sonja, but I just don't think she's ever caught on anywhere. I don't think she's ever been super popular at any time. But there's a lot of her stuff out there. Then, Hookjob. So this month on the description card, they really didn't give much info. They're usually pretty good about it, but this month they just kind of said like, oh, here's an exclusive cover. But all it said was this is about some marine scientists or maybe marine biologists, which sounds incredibly boring. That doesn't sound interesting at all. But they didn't give much to it. They mentioned something about the CIA, and it's like, okay, that sounds like a normal job. That sounds like someone's like day-to-day job. Like I'm a marine scientist, and the CIA is watching me. I want to come see what I do at work. Like, it does not sound interesting at all. This cover is interesting, but now that I know it's just about like marine biology, I have no interest in it. So that one doesn't go for a high value. That only goes for like 7 to 8. And that's no surprise there. And even that value will drop, because I don't think anyone's looking for that comic. So that's going to probably drop to like $5 or something like that. And then our last item, our Harley Quinn print. So normally I'd just give this like a $3 or $4 value. But surprisingly, this is a very popular print, because people really like the picture from what I saw. And I do too. I think it's a really cool picture. And that's going to get a $7 or $8 value. Why anyone would pay $7 or $8 for that, I don't know. Because honestly, like I always say, I can literally go to Kinko's or something and make 1 million copies of this, and I wouldn't be breaking any laws. Because there's no marking on here anywhere that has a sign or a signature or anything like that. We have someone's little signature here, but it would be easy to just like black that out and then make prints of myself of that. It's like that. There's so many ways, loopholes to get around making copies and selling that, so I don't know why anyone would pay more than that, but people are, so that's what it's valued at. Me personally, I value it $3 to $4 because that's what it would cost to make a copy of that. But you know, that's just me. It's just weird that people pay value for things that aren't signed and numbered because it's not really artwork. Anyway, that gets a $7 or $8 value, and that'll probably come down to the normal like $3 or $4 amount, but it's a popular picture, so I guess people like it. So, with those insane, crazy values, technically speaking, what people have paid for these items, and as of this very minute when I'm recording this, not even by the time this is posted, because the values will probably have changed by then, within the hour, but as of right now, on the low end, the value is $113, and on the high end, it's $136. So like I said, don't even pay attention to that value. It's not accurate. I'll give you a more accurate one. Here's what I'll say about it. The Nerd Block Company almost always, like perfectly, I don't even think they plan this, it always works out this way, they almost always give a $50 to $60 value. It's so crazy too. It doesn't matter how much the prices go up and drop and what items they put in, almost always it's 50 and 60. It's weird how spot on it is every time. It's good because that's right at double your value, but it almost always is that. I will say this, I do honestly believe that when these values settle and when they come down to the normal amount, I do think it'll be over that $60 value. Normally they're $50, $60, but I legitimately believe that this will be worth more than that because it was really good stuff. This figure is going to be highly collectible. These comics were all exclusive, and there's 2 crossovers in there of popular franchises crossing over. So this is by far their best comic block yet. So I do think it'll go above that. If I had to guess, my personal opinion, I would guess around $75. Like somewhere between like $60 and $75. I can't say specifically, but that's my guess of where an accurate value of this box would be. Now, only time will tell what that actually be, but regardless of that, with that estimation, it's still much higher than it usually is, which is great. That's awesome. You obviously got more than you paid for. You obviously get double your value, even with the lowest end values on this, way more than double you paid for. I liked everything in here. I don't really care about the fucking hook job, but it's an exclusive cover, so it's still kind of cool. And everything else, exclusive covers, cool print, cool shirt, really awesome figure. The only thing I thought was even okay was the calendar, and it's of Deadpool, like one of my favorite characters, and it has all the really cool artwork back there. So even that, even their shittiest item in the box was still pretty cool. So I'm so happy with this box, honestly. This is the one I kept saying, like, watch out for this one. I hope it gets good. I hope so bad. And it finally is, so thank God for that. So that all being said, ignoring the crazy values, being more realistic, going with that $60 to $75 value, that's still fantastic. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 easily. Maybe even higher than that because I really, really like this. But again, it depends on you guys. It's not about me and my opinions. It's about reality. It's about the values. It's about what you get and what you guys, the population, think. That's what bases the score off of, not me. So let me know what you guys think about it. Weigh in, throw your opinions out there, whether you liked it, whether you hate it. Obviously, we don't need to mention the crazy value. We know they're crazy. You don't need to comment about it. It's fine. But whether you think the realistic value of 60 to 75 is what it's going to be, and we'll talk about it. So either way, I'm happy about this. I'm super psyched to see the other 2 exclusive figures because they showed the silhouette of them on there, and they're not other Harley Quinns. One of them's clearly Catwoman over here, and the other one, I'd have to double check. It might be a Hot Girl or something like that. I'd have to reference the figure, but it's actually different characters. So that's cool. They're not just doing more variants of Harley because she has enough variants. So does Wonder Woman. They both have variants. So I want more of the other character variants, which we're going to get. So I'm excited about that. And they did put their coupon in there, but they're not mentioning it anymore as an item, which is good. You listen, that's good too. So anyway, I'm super happy with this. This is my favorite box of the month. This is the best comic block by far. Couldn't be happier with it. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought, and we'll talk about it in the comments. See you in the next video. Love y'all. Peace.